Welcome back. You may know his face and his hair from the Paul Mitchell hair care commercials, but you might not know his business. Successful entrepreneur John Paul DeJoria is the co-founder of Paul Mitchell Hair Care and Patron Spirits. JP, John Paul, great to have you on the program.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us. So you went from homeless to a billionaire,
yes.
Thanks to the multi-billion-dollar hair care line, Paul Mitchell Systems. How did you do it?
Well, one, we did it under the worst economic times, worse than today. In 1980, inflation was 12.5%, interest rates almost 22%, unemployment was 10.5%. We waited in line for gasoline. However, we felt we had such a great product with such quality that even though we started with $700, ended up staying in my car because our backer pulled out, that if we told enough people about it and really believed in what we did, one day someone's going to start reordering. Very difficult for the first 2 years, should have got bankrupt every week, but we believed what we have was good. And we were prepared for a lot of rejection, knowing that we may not have to knock on 10 doors to get one person to say yes, we may have to knock on 100.
That is so extraordinary. Yeah. But take me back, I mean, the homeless to billionaire, you know, you said the product was in your car. What was the biggest thing that moved the needle for you, that actually got your business moving and put you in a completely different place?
The big mover was we believed what we did would work, no matter how bad times were. And then at one point after 2 years, we finally paid our bills on time, which was a miracle, had a couple thousand in the bank. Now we knew we're going to really take off and be able to do extremely well. But the mover all along was we believed our product was so good. Hairdressers who were the professionals would use it and love it so much, they use it, recommend their customers. So as we saw our dollars go up maybe $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, we knew we were going the right direction. The right direction was no matter how little we were, we kept on growing and we believed what we had was great. That was a big mover.
That is so extraordinary. So today, what are you seeing today in terms of the future? A lot of people look at small business as really the engine of this economy.
It is the engine. And people today, and even, you know, our economy was even worse in those days, can really move ahead and do the same thing. But what's stopping a lot of people now is that thing called belief. A belief, all due respect to our elected officials. There was a fellow named LaGuardia who before World War II, during World War II, entered New York City as the mayor. One of the top 3 mayors ever in the United States of America. He went in when there was business problems, there were deficits, there was unemployment. It was just like it was today, horrible. But he made a statement that changed everything. His statement was this: I'm going to keep my promises. And if I don't keep my promises, get me the hell out of there. We want to see more politicians do this and make all these promises they don't follow through.
I'm glad you mentioned
If they did that, I have a thing called accountabilitycampaign.com, right? Where you say what your promises are, but you add one small paragraph in. I will do it my first year. I will start it my first year. I will tell you why I didn't do it or couldn't start it, or I will resign because I don't deserve this job.
So you with the accountability campaign, you want to encourage transparency.
Full transparency,
in terms of the candidates'
full
promises.
transparency and accountability. If my CEOs or I myself didn't do what I promised or delivered, I shouldn't have my job. Get me the heck out of there. LaGuardia did that. He reacted, had results within 6 months. His results started. Fabulous. And by gosh, the guy did what he said.
What message do you think the president is not getting from the business community?
It's you're not keeping your promises. That's why we're all upset. When you start out, you said no lobbyists. I'm going to get all lobbyists out of there. I'll erase all pork barrel spending. You never did it. So there's a lot of confidence that is lost.
Yeah.
It's like you never ran a lemonade stand. President, you're probably a good man, and you probably mean well. We just need more accountability, sir.
You also co-founded Patron Spirits, which ushered in the market for premium spirits.
That's correct.
Tell me about that. How's that business today, and is there still growth there?
Yeah, Patron last year became the #1 by dollar volume tequila company in the world, and we're only ultra premium. During tough times, people want to treat themselves. They know Patron is different in taste and the end result. So they're treating themselves, they're spending $50 on a bottle for themselves to at least treat themselves, and they're drinking more responsible and tasting that extra quality of the Patron.
Do people drink alcohol more during tough economic times?
It's not that they drink it more during tough economic times, and I say that because for the first few years, the spirits business was off a little bit. I think they're more choosier on what they drink. Either we want that extra good quality to treat ourselves, or we may have beer.
I'm fascinated by your story. You were a door-to-door encyclopedia salesman early in your career. What did that experience teach you in terms of startups, in terms of success, working hard?
The greatest thing I can share with America is you are taught how to be prepared for rejection, where you knock on 50 doors, they're slammed in your face, but on door 51 or 110, you're just as enthusiastic. You believe in it, eventually get through the doors.
JP, what an inspiration. Thanks
America
so much for
works.
joining us. America works.
You
Great,
betcha.
great to see you.
Thank you.
John Paul DeJoria joining us. Up next on the Wall Street Journal Report, we'll take a look at the news this upcoming week that will have an impact on your money. And then the course of true love never did run smoothly, especially when it comes to finding the perfect holiday gift. Why partridges and pear trees are subject to the whims of the economy. Back in a moment. We have some big news to tell you about. Beginning in January, we will have a new name. Look for us on the money with Maria Bartiromo. We'll have some exciting new segments for you with great guests. And of course, I'll be here as well. Join us for On the Money. Here are now the stories coming up in the week ahead that may move the markets and impact your money. On Tuesday, numbers for November auto sales will be out. We'll check the autos. And then Friday, we get the latest jobs report, which tells us, of course, how many jobs the economy lost or gained in the last month, as well as the percentage of Americans unemployed, typically a market mover. And then the latest reading of consumer sentiment is also out on Friday. Well, when it comes to finding the perfect holiday gift, what's $100,000 between true loves? The cost of Christmas, the total of all 364 gifts mentioned in that song about the partridge and the pear tree, was released this week by PNC's Wealth Management Group. For $107,300, you can buy your true love, everything mentioned in all the carols' repeated verses. A drought in the Midwest impacting bird feed prices and the volatile swan market drove up this year's Christmas index 6% over last year. Good thing hope and cheer are still free. That'll do it for us for today. Thank you so much for joining me. My guest next week, former Secretary of Labor and UC Berkeley economics professor Robert Reich. Join us for that. Each week, keep it right here where Wall Street meets Main Street. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you again next weekend.